Today, as y'all know, Diddy's back in court, and we're gonna get to that. Um, the defense, judge shot down uh, the defense uh, motion for a mistrial. He was like, little light debate. Judge was like, nah, I ain't gonna grant the mistrial. All right. Um, but they went through some other motion too. I can't remember what it was. And shout out to whoever did the catering for Steve Harvey's golf tournament today. I don't know if it was at the actual Bears Best golf club. I don't know if they catered it or not, but god damn. They had some barbecue chicken, like slow cooked barbecue chicken. So amazing, so good. But shout out to my man Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway was in the building. Who else I seen there? My man Jerry Stackhouse. Jerry Stackhouse was in the building. Jerome Bettis, the bus was in the building. Who else? It was some more people, but I ain't gonna hold y'all. I know y'all here for Diddy. You know what I mean? So today they started with I almost said her name. Jane Doe. Jane Doe is back on the stand, doing what she do. And this is the defense first crack at her. And we're going to get into it. I'm just going to say, before I get into this, that even before the defense got a crack at Jane Doe, John Doe baby mama, I don't even think the defense even had to cross-examine her to prove that it wasn't no coercion. She wasn't forced. She did this out of money, for money. She's, to me, I would consider her relationship with Diddy. If he wasn't her sugar daddy, she was a prostitute, right? Because everything with her seems to be revolved around money. You know what I'm saying? And it's like she act like she's so in love, but to me, it's always about the money with her. Money and jealousy. And this girl, she is super jealous. She the type to slit your tires, vandalize your car, pop out on you. Like, yeah. And then I feel like she was very, very, very much enjoying the fruits of Diddy's labor as far as being able to let her sleep with all these different men. I don't like she fell in love with one of them. Like she said she loved Paul. I'm like, how did you fall in love? She fell in love with a stripper. Oh my God. Yo, I know John Doe. I know he is sick hearing all this stuff. you know, about his baby mama, man. I know he looking at her different. Like she fell in love with one of the sex workers, bro. But like I said, once again, I don't see the coercion in this, but I do see that, yeah, they're gonna find Diddy guilty on paying for prostitution going across state lines. Because if they don't, even if they didn't find it on the escorts, they could charge him for Jane Doe. Like, cause bro, she's prostituted to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you doing this for the money, I don't understand the difference between her and a woman that walks the street, other than she's not walking the street. But if everything is revolved around money, like the relationship, you know, she's worried about Diddy cutting off and her bills not being paid, which is kind of crazy, man. But we're gonna get into it. So they went over the motion for the mistrial. The judge denied it, so there ain't really no reason for me to go tooth and nail on that for everybody to hear why he denied it. He denied it, don't matter. So the judge says, bring in Jane and the jury, all rise. He tells Miss Garagos, which is Diddy's the female lawyer, the female lawyer, defense attorney, that she may proceed with the cross examination. So now, remember yesterday the defense rest. So they done with her, and I think they had her on for like 3-4 days. So let's see what the I'm a little disappointed that Brian Steele ain't doing this cross, but I think that due to the nature of her testimony, it probably is better for a woman to do the cross examination, because to me, she already established that she wasn't forced. She did it because she wanted to. She did it for money. And Diddy wasn't abusive to her outside of that fight that they had, which she provoked by slamming his head into the marble first. And then he started throwing everything at him. I'm not condoning him hitting her back and fighting her, but the whole time, Diddy did not put his hands on this woman. And the one time he did, she provoked the fight and hit him first. And I don't know if y'all know, but marble's something very hard and will crack your cranium. So he told him they proceed. So she starts. So Jane, we met before, but then you stopped meeting with the defense. That was your choice, right? Correct. You are testifying against Mr. Combs. I'm testifying against him? I mean, how many times did they prep you on how to be cross-examined at this trial? Maybe 2 or 3 times. Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all? I don't know if it was yesterday because she's been up there for like 3 days. But didn't I tell y'all? They coached this girl. She's been prepped and has messed, like you could tell by they line of questions that it was coerced. Well, I ain't gonna say coerced, but that they talked about it. You could tell that she met with the prosecution, and you could tell like how the way they was asking questions you could tell like she knew the line of questions to go in certain directions with her testimony. So how many times did they prep you on how to be cross-examined at this trial? You see what they said? How to be cross-examined, meaning how many times they prepped you for us to question you on trial? She says 2 or 3 times, right? That's a lot. That's a lot. So, which means she's ready for most of these questions right here, not knowing exactly what they're going to ask, but to get an idea of how they're going to ask and how to respond. So this is why it was good for them to put the female attorney up there, because more than likely, sorry to be yawning, but I had to get up early to get to the golf course, so I've been up all day. So they probably prepped to thinking that Brian Steele was going to do the cross, but then I'm sure they said, if case not, they had at least 3 times to prep her, which is a lot, because it may be 2 or 3 times, but it might be for hours. How many times did they prep you for this trial? 2 or 3 times. Did you bring in other prosecutors? Did they bring in other prosecutors to cross you? Yes. So they did a mock of what they thought that they would do and what they would say, right? To prep her. So they even brought in other prosecutors to give her an idea of what happened. So to teach her how to carry herself in front of the jury. It ain't illegal for them to do that, but if she was on the up and up, they wouldn't have to, right? And they granted you immunity at the grand jury, right? Yes. Oh, so she also testified at the grand jury. And she got immunity. Now, here's the thing, y'all. Just like for all y'all people that out here thinking that Tory Lanez shot Megan, when the majority of us believe that it was Kelsey, right? Remember, Kelsey had got immunity. If Kelsey ain't do no wrong at all, why would she get immunity, right? Same thing with Jane Doe. If she didn't do no crimes in this whole thing, why would they give her immunity? Because she did crimes. She brought drugs from LA to Miami and vice versa. Prostitution, they could charge her with, because he's paying her and she going across state lines with the sex workers as well. They could have charged her for that. So just the drug trafficking and the alleged prostitution, I can see that's why they gave her immunity. Just like Kelsey. If Kelsey didn't do anything, what the hell is she getting immunity for? Right? Which I still think that Tory did it. If that girl ain't do nothing, it was no reason for her to get immunity. Your choice to participate in that lifestyle for many years, and you didn't want to break up with him, right? I did not want to. You had sex with other men for years, right? I resent the emotional control. I was hooked from the start. She resent the emotional control. What? But she was hooked from the start. Fellas, imagine your wife let you have sex with any women you want, and she tell you you could pick them. You could pick the women, and your wife just sit there and watch you have sex with the baddest baddies in the world, and she's paying for this. Like, can you now for men? Y'all like, whoa, yeah, like what? Nigga, I have Rihanna. I'll have, you'll start like naming women that you would love to have the opportunity to have that with, and your wife knows or your girlfriend knows and she's cool with it. So do not think that a woman would not love that as well. There are women that's going to say, oh, that's nasty, whatever. But there are women that would love to have the opportunity to sleep with their ex or they side nigga or they new nigga while they main nigga or husband is sitting right there watching, and they ain't got to cheat, and they can have the sexiest men in the world, and they husband ain't gonna don't care. He letting it happen. So for her to say, I resent the emotional control, but I was hooked from the start. I'll give that to about 50% of women and men. You would be hooked too if you was able to live out that type of fantasy in real time. There was pressure to perform these acts. My love, oh, excuse me, that's the wrong voice. There was pressure to perform these acts my lover desired. You use the word partner again and again on direct. He was your partner? Yes. You said you having trouble answering for yourself. Why you had sex with these men? Yes. Are you in therapy now? Yes. Do you love Mr. Combs? I love to spend time with my partner. You wanted to cuddle with him, right? Yes, to give him foot rubs. You said objection to counsel making herself a witness. I love to bathe him, and we watch his favorite show. What show was that? Dayline. Did you believe he was not doing this with anyone else during this time period? But you looked at his messages, right? Yes. He was vulnerable in those hotel rooms, and I shared that with him. It was conflicting. I was breaking all my boundaries so that he would feel loved. This brought you two together? Yes. And the love making afterwards. That's why I enjoyed it. This woman don't sound like a victim, do she? You tried to be very sexy to him in those rooms, right? I think I was sexy in those rooms. Because you are a beautiful woman, did you choose the wardrobe? Initially, he did. And he liked baby oil. It turned him on, right? Yes. How old were you when you started this relationship with Mr. Combs? I was 35. Hey, y'all. Now, come on, y'all.